It says, so we go to, you like the same is like we're doing, or you wanted to just go share the teaching, or just go that way is better?
I thought you were the boss.
Usually, Mary, what we do?
You're the boss, Khenpo.
Okay, so then we, Mary, please, can you read the?
Yes, I will. Okay.
14.
Okay. This refers back to the 113, where it talks about the Buddha's qualities from which are gained from sentient beings and the conquerors alike. And so why don't you respect them as you respect the conquerors? So it says 114, of course, they are not similar in the qualities of their intentions, but only in the fruits that they produce. So it is in this respect that they have excellent qualities and are therefore said to be equal. So while the sentient beings are needed to produce the same fruits of enlightenment, they don't have the same intention as the Buddhas, but they are a big help. So that's why they deserve the respect that you would give to the Buddha.
Yeah. Great, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.
EDG, please. 115.
Whatever merit comes from venerating one with a loving mind is due to the eminence of sentient beings. And in the same way, the merit of having faith in Buddha is due to the eminence of Buddha. Okay. Well, this here is basically the same thing. We're talking about venerating sentient beings as well as the Buddha helps us gain merit.
Yes.
So because they're all helping us in helping us become awakened, we should venerate them all. That's all I can say.
Thank you, EDG. Yeah, it's first just two sentences. First two sentences, the Bodhisattvas and we call Sangha. So the Sangha has good quality, and you offering, and just do some use the object is you can create good merit, because that is the power of Sangha. And the second two sentences is like power of Buddha. So use the object of Buddha, you offering praise, devotion to Buddha, you are creating accumulation merit. That is the power of Buddha, special two objects.
So what is our definition of Sangha in this case?
Sangha is imminence of sentient beings. So who has venerating one with a loving mind is due to the imminence of sentient being, who has a love, who has a compassion, and so that is a Sangha. So the you venerating them, and then you gain merit. Your merit is increasing.
So in that context, are we Sangha?
Long as you have love, compassion, you are Sangha for others.
All right, thank you.
So this is going to the inner level Sangha, means like just talking about the quality, right?
Okay.
So who has bodhicitta, then that is a sangha. So who has bodhicitta, you venerating them, you increasing your merit. And then another last two sentence is Buddha. So you have devotion to Buddha, and so offering to Buddha, you're increasing your merit. They're called two special object. Okay, so now Thomas, please, can you go to 116?
Yes. Therefore, they are asserted to be equal in the share they have in establishing Buddha qualities, but none of them are equal in good qualities. With the Buddha who are boundless oceans of excellence. This goes with, I guess, 113, 114, 115. It's talking about the how sentient beings are very important, but do they not have the same qualities as a Buddha? Because the Buddhas have boundless excellence, and they have purified all their obscurations. And the qualities of the Buddhas, or a lot of the qualities, are beyond our conceptions as well.
Yes, so then sentient beings also qualities not same as Buddha, but they produce the enlightening quality as is the same, right?
Yes, sir.
That's why we respect for other beings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is like just you said 13, 14, 15 go together. Little bit different aspects, very similar. And now we next, Amanda, please can you do the next 117?
Yes. Even if the three realms were offered, it would be insufficient in paying veneration to those few beings in whom a mere share of the good qualities of the unique assemblage of excellence appears. So the three realms are the desire realm, which is what we are in, and the form and the formless realms, which are the God realms. And if we were to offer all these three realms to Buddha, it would not compare to Buddha's benefit to us. The three realms offering is nothing compared to Buddha's qualities and how Buddha benefits all sentient beings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so then we go to the next 118. Senda, please, can you do 118?
Thus, since sentient beings have a share in giving rise to the supreme Buddha qualities, surely it is correct to venerate them as they are similar in merely this respect. So, I mean, I think it's just this idea that you need sentient beings to practice the paramitas with. And by doing that, you can become a Buddha. So the Buddhas, if we venerate Buddhas, we can also venerate sentient beings. See their value.
Thank you. Okay, so that's all great, easy, right? Everyone okay? So next then, 119. Maria, can you do 119? You can.
I don't know. Thank you. Furthermore, what is there to repay the Buddhas who grant immeasurable benefit and who befriend the world without pretension other than by pleasing sentient beings? I have to read it again, Khenpo. What way is there to repay the Buddhas who grant immeasurable benefit and who befriend the world without pretension other than by pleasing? I don't know.
Okay, so we
I need your help.
yeah, okay. So Amanda can help.
I was thinking this is the answer to my question of how to make a proper offering. It's to please the Buddhas, we have to benefit all sentient beings, because this is all the Buddha thinks of and does. Nothing other than this pleases the Buddhas. Buddha's enlightened qualities and benefits. Buddha has no personal agenda, so is always thinking of benefit and always benefiting others. And then you shared Mipo Rinpoche's quote with us. These Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, for them, you offer the three worlds. This doesn't make them happy. If you really want to please the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then you study, contemplate, and meditate and put the teachings into practice. If you benefit others, then that is the only thing that pleases the Buddhas.
So now, do you get the Maria? You okay? So Buddha, if you want to please to Buddha, the main point is we have to benefit other beings. So practice patience. So then that is please to the Buddhas. Nothing is key other than by pleasing sentient beings. No any other than that pleasing the Buddha. It's good one, right? So then we go to 120. 120. David, can you do David B? David B.
I had to think about that. I think that's B. Therefore, since benefiting these beings will repay those who give their bodies and enter the deepest hell for their sake, I shall behave impeccably in all that I do, even if they cause me a great deal of harm. So in this one, you spoke about that the Buddhas are benefiting, they're even giving up their own life to benefit other beings. They're going to actually go to hell and suffer the hell realms in order to benefit all beings. So you can please the Buddhas and repay them by actually benefiting others. And this will please them because they are also benefiting others too. So in this way, we are helping beings and pleasing the Buddhas.
Thank you. Good. So now everyone okay? 120? Then 121. Debbie, please can you do the 121?
Sure. When for their sake, those who are my lords have no regard even for their own bodies, then why am I the fool so full of self-importance? Why do I not act like a servant towards them? It's a really good question because it is fascinating that we really do things that are against our best interests, certainly. Being trapped in attachment and ego clinging, what we don't see, we know that, the existence of Buddhas and Bodhisattva, they're wonderful, they're great, they're wonderful. But I think he uses the word fool very, very well. That, we have these wonderful examples of what's important and what matters. And if our existence is to be meaningful, then we've been shown multiple times how, working for beings' happiness and letting go of attachment and, achieving that, those Buddha qualities, we understand both physically and intellectually how important that is, but we still don't do it, or we get very easily distracted, which is why this is a chapter about patience. And what else did I write?
That's good.
That's good enough. Oh, I just want to say one more thing. The Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas know that physical bodies exist to benefit beings, which is why he's making the point that, you know, Bodhisattvas will take on suffering of any realm in order to benefit beings as a whole and work through samsara and move people, you know, to higher realms and sort of empty samsara. And but if you actually have a body and you're not a bodhisattva, the body very, very easily gets in the way. It's really distracting. So yeah, we have to remember that, and we have to stop taking our life for granted and stop thinking that you can just be good for a little bit and then go on and, you know, get stuck in whatever you're working on, whatever you know, are attached to. We have to forget that. We have to just completely put that aside. So that's what I got.
Thank you, Debbie. You did a really good explain. So, yeah, the main point, just we usually see the people who someone like do great things, we see they expire for us, right? So then we recognize, oh, that person is so unbelievably doing great things. Why I don't do, you know, something. See, these Buddhas, Bodhisattvas give up own life to benefit others. Then why we are still so selfish, thinking about too much ego, and something we can give up is can do something. Why we don't do that? So shame ourselves, right? Kind of recognize. Okay, so now we go to the 122. Lisa, please, 122.
Okay. Because of their happiness, the conquerors are delighted, but if they are harmed, they are displeased. Hence, by pleasing them, I shall delight the conquerors, and by harming them, I shall hurt the conquerors. I've been out of class, Khenpo, for a while, so I'm not quite sure. I just think it kind of means, for me, it just means if you find delight in harming others, well, you shouldn't do that. But if you let me read it again, please.
Do this way, okay? Because of their happiness, right?
Yes.
Because of their happiness, the conqueror are delighted. If you have other people, other beings, when the other beings are happy, then that conqueror Buddha's delighted.
Okay. So that's what confused me, is who are the conquerors?
Conquerors Buddha.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So because of their happiness, it's all other sentient beings. If we benefit other beings, when the other beings are happy, then Buddha's delighted.
Yes, and I think sometimes, maybe I'm wrong, that if we see other people suffering and that makes us sad or makes us unhappy, then we are in a way suffering along with them. I don't know.
Yeah, just like this is like if you you love for others, like then someone really helping others, you happy, right?
Yeah, of course. Yes, we
Yeah,
rejoice.
same that we have other beings, then Buddha is already happy.
Yes.
We harm for others, then see, hence by pleasing them, I share delight to the conqueror, and by harming them, I share hurt the conqueror. If we harm for others, then Buddha is also unhappy too.
I understand. So okay. It's like when somebody's good, we should be, and having good things come to them, we should be rejoicing for them and along with them, and that will please the Buddhas.
Yeah. So you do like some body, speech, mind, actions, help other beings, they are happy, then that is like offering to Buddhas, delighted for Buddhas. If we harmful like others, like through the body, speech, mind, then that's like hurt the conqueror Buddhas too.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Okay, you're welcome. So now we go to the 123. Alita, please, 123.
Okay, Khenpo, thank you. Just as desirable sense objects would give my mind no pleasure if my body were ablaze with fire, likewise, when living creatures are in pain, there is no way for the compassionate ones to be pleased. So, if my body is on fire, all I can think about is the fire and the pain that it's causing. And so I wouldn't be able to eat something pleasurable or look at anything pleasurable. My mind would be on the pain and suffering that I was feeling because of the fire. So in the same way, we live in a world full of samsara, and there's many beings that are suffering very deeply. And so our attention should be on that if we want to please the compassionate ones, because the compassionate ones' care is for all sentient beings that are suffering.
Thank you. Great. So just the example is very good. If you have fire in your body, then whatever pleasure you have that doesn't have anything joy, right? So same thing, like we harm for other beings, then not possible to Buddha is become delighted.
Khenpo,
Not delighted. Yes.
may I ask a question? If the Buddha is not emotional and not happy or not sad, why should we please him?
Oh, so
He's not happy or sad feeling toward this, and he's supposed to be the all embracing. So why should we please him? It sounds a little bit like a patriarchic way of thinking. Like we want to please our father, or we want to.
So this
Why
is
we,
okay. I understanding, Lamin, your question. So
yeah.
that's a good thought, actually, really good. And there has like our own perception and the Buddha's own perception, two different. So our own perception wanted to delight the Buddha, and the Buddha himself on his own perception, he don't have actually these feelings, emotions, and so we wanted to our own perception. Then Buddha, we wanted to delight him, happy, make happy Buddha. So that's why we're putting all these offerings in the press to Buddha. So that is like followed by our own perception way.
So it's not the Buddha want to be delighted or want to be praised.
Buddha is actually, there's his own perception that didn't have any emotions, feelings there.
So it's only want to be.
Yeah, we have to follow the study, like another teaching that talk about the Buddha's his own perception, and so then our, we other beings' perception, they have two different. This is followed by our own perceptions, not the Buddha himself perceptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So now we go to the 124. 124, David, please.
Me, Khenpo?
Yes.
Okay, 124. Okay. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, as I have caused harm to living beings, today I openly declare all my wholesome acts that have brought displeasure to the compassionate ones. Please bear with me, O Lords, for this displeasure I have caused you. What you discussed this morning was that I'm going to declare everything wrong that I did to other sentient beings and confess to the Buddha, and I offering to the Buddha, and I promise not to do it again. And the Buddhas will be delighted because I stopping to do harm to the sentient beings. Because when I do harm, it's not good, and they don't going to like it.
Right.
I'm going to confess. Thank you.
Good job. See, yeah, we think about like recognize, and now we recognize.
Yes.
If we harm for others, like Buddha's not delighted. So that's the reason. So many lifetimes we harm for others. No, I'm going to confession to the Buddha.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then next one, 124. Lisa, can you do the 125?
Khenpo, my phone has jumped me to a different page.
No, the Lisa is another one. Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lisa Levis.
Yes, can you hear me? There's a big windstorm here.
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, from now on, in order to delight the Tathagatas, I shall serve the universe and definitely cease to cause harm. Although many beings may kick and stamp upon the head, even at the risk of dying, may I delight the protectors of the world by not retaliating. So it follows verse 124. So after giving confession, I think then you want to develop the strength to not to lose the courage to benefit others, no matter what hardship you have to endure, including always practicing patience by not retaliating.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, we have two Lisa, so we get more A Lisa, B Lisa too. So this is who says something?
Oh, it's me. It's Debbie A.
Debbie A, please, yes.
As I was listening to and thinking about these last few verses, you know what it reminded me of? It is the parallel structure. It's the same structure as the four dharmas. Finding the Lama, how to rely on the Lama, how to please the Lama, how to practice the path. This is the next level of it, isn't it?
Mm.
So it's the same, you know, the Lama is your introduction. So is it the same?
It's this one is actually different. So in the main point, this one is so we pleasing to it's Buddhas. So that is like the main point. Like that's the reason we have to going to subdue our ego and become, like serving for other beings. No, the who going to create like difficulties, whatever people make problem me, even destroy my heads. So I'm never going to lose my participation and bodhicitta. So also I'm going to become protecting for other beings. So that's a big promise in there.
Khenpo,
Yes.
isn't this similar to the 8th verse of the 37 practice of a Bodhisattva, where it is said that therefore never to act unvirtuously, even at the cost of one's life, is the practice of a Bodhisattva.
Yeah, yes. So this one is more strong than that.
Okay.
more strong. So we're going to say, I'm going to give up all my ego. 100% going to serve for other. Yeah, yes. That's the reason is because I'm going to delight it for Buddhas. And then also, So whatever people create problems, even take out the heads, never going to lose participation, right? Not going to give up patient, bodhicitta. And also I'm going to benefit for others too. Protect the sea, delight the protectors of the world by not retaliating.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you. Retaliating, I did a good job on Mary. Yeah, she said yes. Thank you. So now we go to the next one. I told you this morning that this word is like usually Khenpo Jiminping, so he shared this a lot. He's the one of the promise. He's like the kept this one is his practice. So it's a hard, not ordinary people easily can deal with that, but we have to listening, teaching, contemplate. We have to meditate. So that's also good too. Even we cannot do all this like kind of practice. If you can do this practice, then you are already absolute true to Bodhisattva. So now we go to next is 126. Navinati, can you do the 126? She can hear or Navinati? No, I think no. Okay, so now Debe B, can you do the Debe, can you do the 127? 26.
126, that's
Yeah.
me, Big Debbie. Okay. There is no doubt that those with the nature of compassion regard all these beings to be the same as themselves. Furthermore, those who see this Buddha nature as the nature of sentient beings see the Buddhas themselves. Then, why then do I not respect sentient beings? So in this verse, you spoke about a little bit, Khenpo, that this verse was the bridge between Vajrayana. And you also talked a little bit about that you could really recognize in this verse that a lot of times scholars aren't recognized for doing their having Vajrayana practice. But in this verse, you really recognize that Shantideva was a Vajrayana practitioner, because he could follow reality and the truth that never extinguishes. So he would never exhaust, is seen in this verse, so that things would go on and on. So in this verse, talking about the Vajrayana, because they mention Buddha nature, it's more elaborated in Vajrayana. And so then we're seeing all beings that have Buddha nature, and we're seeing us as the same. So that's where the Vajrayana part came in, as you explained it, I believe. And those seeing then realize have the same capacity to become a Buddha as we all have Buddha nature. So that was, so this in this way, we can offer the same respect to the Buddhas and sentient beings, because basically the essence of both are the same.
Finish? Whoa, thank you, Debbie.
Yeah. I think so.
Khenpo, can I ask a question about it?
Yes.
So I sometimes wonder what non-dual means. So is the Buddha non-dual with sentient beings because he's non-dual with everything, or because we have Buddha nature?
No dual means like no thoughts, right? No conceptual thoughts. So Buddha is always no dualistic. Yeah. And this we talk about the Bodhisattvas, absolute truth Bodhisattva. They also especially pure primi Bodhisattvas. They also have some dualistic, subtle dualistic thoughts. That's why they are not same as Buddha. So Buddha is always in known door. So the known door is actually Buddha nature.
But so I'm wondering about things that, according to Buddhism, are non-sentient. So like, is the Buddha non-dual with all of nature, plant life, the earth? Or only with things that have Buddha nature?
Only with the Buddha nature. Yeah, so I think that's a big discussion lost a long time ago, right?
It's just hard to understand how you could be non-dual, how you could exclude, you could not include some illusory manifestation in the world, and it is somehow outside of the Dharmakaya. Like how is it somehow not included in non-duality? I just struggle.
Okay, so yeah, so this is like refer to who has a mind, right? So sentient being means like mind is follow the object. That means dualistic. That's called sentient beings, sentience. It's the mind is free from dualistic. That is called Buddha nature. That is no door. So it's have to follow the refer to the mind. Then we can talk about the kayas, Buddhas. You know, this other object didn't have all these aspects, everything. Yeah. Okay, so now we go to the.
Oh, okay, Bo, I had one question. There was one thing in this verse 126 that also stood out for me, which when you mentioned that the philosophers share the teachings based upon logic, kind of in the deeper, more profound way. And really they're looking at future lifetimes. So when they are actually looking at all these teachings, they're breaking it down, not in this present moment, but like how it's going to be, so that these teachings, this really stood out. These teachings are applicable today. So what was said in the 8th century is like applicable still today because we have the same human nature as we in this human form. But I guess my question is, you said this was a bridge between Vajrayana. And so how does Vajrayana play into that? Like, is that a part of the philosopher's way of looking at things where then it extends on and becomes still applicable? Or is it more in the philosophy of the Buddhist teachings and looking at those logically?
Yeah, so that's a, if we go that way, it's like then you have to talk lots. So not easily really compromising or like going to end the discussion. Then the just usually the talk about the Buddha nature is like bridge with Vajrayana and the Sutrayana. So Sutrayana usually all talk about emptiness. They don't really talk about the Buddha nature. And when you talk about the Buddha nature means like, see here, they also the Buddhas seeing all have the same nature or the Buddha has, same nature all other beings have. So that really the join the Vajrayana and the Sutra and combined together.
So
When this more is a follow, the more is like, see, it's logically proven, you know. This teaching hold this way of Bodhisattva. That means Shantideva, they don't just like give like something easy for them to only thinking about their benefit, only their growth. So he wants this Buddhist teaching is like generations, like lifetimes, like going to benefit others. Because he used all the logically proven, you know. Yes, who said something ahead?
Just for me, I feel there's a shift between like verse 123, which talks about the compassionate ones being pleased if you treat sentient beings well, in a way that's like really outer level. Like you're really like acting like there's a Buddha out there who is looking at your behavior and is either happy with you or not happy with you. And then down here, you're in this place where you're remembering that actually Buddha is not separate from you or other beings. And then if you're creating harm for someone else, it's like you're harming a Buddha or a future Buddha. And if you please them, I mean, it's like it's inherently that you're pleasing or displeasing Buddha by how you treat sentient beings, because there's non-dual nature there. So I just really felt like the earlier verses were really almost the way you worship a god type of thing, and then it shifts here.
So first is more like for beginner way. This is more going up to a high level, Mahayana level. So just it's follow the, giving this teaching for, there's a different, like when you share this teaching, Buddhist teaching, like have different capacities, different beings need like a little bit different, levels they're giving. Okay, so now we go to the next one. 127. Mary, please, can you do 127?
Okay. Pleasing living beings delights the Tathagatas and perfectly accomplishes my own purposes as well. In addition, it dispels the pain and misery of the universe. Therefore, I should always practice it. Pleasing living beings delights the Tathagatas and accomplishes my own purposes too. That sounds like a win-win, because after all, your purposes are to recognize yourself as Tathagata, the Dharmakaya. And it also dispels the pain and misery of the universe. Therefore, I should always practice it. And so it sounds like your purposes are to accomplish the Dharmakaya, which I think the Buddha would like too. And it also helps dispel pain and misery of the universe, which is the Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya aspects of this.
Yeah. So good. Thank you, Mary. This you can understand just very simple way or more deeper than go that level. So you can just different ways understanding, right? Very simple ways. We delight Buddhas. Also participation is a delight to Buddhas. They also benefit ourselves too, and that's also purify our karma. We are free from samsara. So that is a very simple way, just explain, right? And then more deeper way, so you just merely shared, like we are create causes of Dharmakaya, first two sentences, because completing our own benefit. Then last two sentences is also benefit for others' benefit, is become the create the Namanakaya causes. Okay, so that's a great, and they hold actually all this way of Bodhisattva teaching in there, these verses. So now we go to the 128. The EDG, please, 128.
So 128 or 127?
128.
All right. I was heavily into thought. Okay, so 128. Okay. For examples,
127.
some of the king. Pardon me?
Mary did 127.
I was really in deep thought on that one. Okay. So 128. For example, should some of the king's men cause harm to many people, far-sighted men would not return the harm, or even if they were able to do so. So this is if people really understood how everything works, then they would. If you're doing bad, it's going to contribute to negative karma in future lives. It will pop up in the future. It'll change the causes and conditions, and the ones that do good or practice the Dharma and what we're talking about here.
Yes.
It not only affects the current. You're accumulating merit, it's creating good causes, and in the future you will benefit not only yourself but others. That's all I can say.
Oh, thank you, Eddie. So this example. So king is even not great person, but then someone can really take out the king off, but the person who has wise, who has wisdom, they don't take out. The reason was the king has so much other, object. So that's followed by 129 is together. Thomas, please, can you do the 129?
Yes, Khenpo. Where they see that these men are not alone, but are supported by the might of the king. Likewise, I should not underestimate weak beings who cause me a little harm. This would go with 128, that the king, that these men, I guess, are supported by the king and have many supporters. And by being strong, by not harming them. We should recognize that we shouldn't be so moved by small things, weak beings who cause me a little harm. And pay more attention to the bigger things.
Thank you, Thomas. Great, okay. So now next then, also follow together. Amanda, please, can you do the next one?
Yes, Khenpo. 130. For they are supported by the guardians of hell and by all the compassionate ones. So behaving like the subjects of that fiery king, I should please all sentient beings. If you were to destroy a being that caused you harm in future lives, this karma protector will not let you go. So the guardians of hell, the yamas, tortured that being, these beings. So these beings who may look protectorless, they have protectors, karma, yama, the Buddhas. So even the weak beings have so many protectors like the king. The karma is the same. So I think the main point is we must take care of all beings and protect the protectorless. I thought that part was really beautiful, to protect the protectorless. I think you gave the example even to think of bugs and weaker beings and protect them.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one is really beautiful. So sometimes we don't care about the weak beings. We think, oh, this is okay. So no one behind that person, no one come to me if I take all of them. So actually there's karma and the yamas, Buddhas behind there. Okay, so now we go to 131. 131. David.
Khenpo.
Yes.
131.
Yeah. Where is Avura?
Avira. It's resting.
Oh, okay.
Higher.
Okay.
Okay. Even if such a king were to become angry, could he cause the pain of hell, which is the fruit I will have to experience with displeasing sentient being? Let me double check my note. Yeah. If the king is angry, he doesn't going to affect me really. It doesn't going to harm me. But if I harm others, then I'm going to produce karma that it doesn't go away, and he going to follow me. I mean that what he said here is that we we have to know that we don't going to be affected by somebody, by the king or somebody. He's angry with us, but if we don't control ourselves, we can harm others, and then we can have this bad karma. It's the fruit I would take by pleasing something.
Yeah, you did a good job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Khenpo. I like it a lot.
Yeah, your boss doesn't like you, and then he's not going to do anything for you, going to take lower ranks. Or your co-workers doesn't like you, then that is the hardest.
I know. I live it. And that's true.
King doesn't like us. King doesn't like us. He's not going to torture us in the lower realms. Not possible.
No.
So all the beings we harm and that doesn't like us, then they're going to king put us in the lower realms.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful when you start to contemplate and understand this. You're going to change your mindset, and you will be more calm. And they can be angry and everything, but you can see that it's a Buddha.
Yeah, it's a democracy, right? Democracy. Just
Yeah, you have the right to be angry.
we have to take care of public, not only the up there one person.
Very good, very helpful, Khenpo.
Yeah, thank
helpful.
you. Next, Sandra, please.
And even if such a king were to be kind, he could not possibly grant me Buddhahood, which is the fruit I would obtain by pleasing sentient beings. So these two verses go together for sure. And it's just a reminder that working to benefit sentient beings is the best guiding principle. That the benefits, the fruits of that are so much more than whatever benefit a king could grant you in this life.
Yes. Great, thank you. Yeah, that verses two is just go together, yeah. One is for King Kino push lower realms. One is King Kino really benefit us liberating in the Buddhahood. So the sentient beings can put us in the lower realms. Sentient beings can put us in the Buddhahood. So that's all up to the sentient beings. Very democracy, right? Okay, so now we go to the 133. 133, K Jinping KGC, Lisa Lewis.
Okay. Why do I not see that my future attainment of Buddhahood, as well as glory, renown, and happiness in this very life, all come from pleasing sentient beings? So that way of questioning results in thinking, therefore, in all situations, try to do good for others and contemplate and reflect and don't act selfishly. And just summarizing the important point of the whole chapter, I guess. This one, 134. I don't know what else to say, but
Good, yeah, Jinping so.
Yeah, there you go.
So why do I not see why we didn't see so long term these easy ones? simple method, why we didn't see so long time, right? Why we didn't see this all many human beings in the world? Why they didn't see this special method?
Well, it's too, ignorance is very profound.
Yeah, so it's due to the ignorance that my future attainment of Buddhahood as well as glory, renewal and happiness in this very life all come from pleasing sentient beings. Beautiful, right?
Yes.
So practice a patience. Then that is like bring all the qualities.
Yes. I want to say a little something about what I think about patience, because I think also people don't act this way because they don't know how to separate from their anger. Because when I think about what is patience, I don't think it's always an absence of anger. I think patience is an absence of hate. So sometimes you have to get a little bit, maybe anger at somebody for something, but you never lose your love for that person. It's so patience is more, if to my mind, it's not always an absence of complete anger. That would be very sometimes not beneficial to people. So they have to tell like best friend,
Your voice is cutting.
they're causing harm.
Your
Can't
voice.
just go around like anybody.
Mm,
Yeah, we have a big windstorm here.
yeah. So no,
Sorry.
get
I just was trying to say, I think, yeah, we have a windstorm. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just saying, now that we come to the end of the chapter, I just wanted to say something that was important to me, that patience is not necessarily an absence of anger always, but it's always an affirmation of love for a person. Never lose your love for a person, even if you have to sort of act angry in a way for them.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa. So now that 134 is everyone have to put this comment for that. It's the summary of this chapter, I think. Who wanted to do first?
Hello.
Yes, Lisa.
Well, it's really making a statement, and it says, while in cyclical existence, patience causes beauty, health, and renown. Because of these, I shall live for a very long time and win the extensive pleasures of the universal chakra kings. Cyclical existence is samsara. So I'm really wondering why we would even desire this.
That's good, Lisa.
Why would we want to be born here again and live a long time?
Understanding, but this means like the temporary benefit and the permanently benefit. So they have two different levels. This is like even some people think, oh, Buddhahood benefit, too long, tired, right? I want something in this life. See, then participation benefit in this life too.
So it's just a short-lived thing because we're not supposed to be grasping onto things like being renowned and being famous and being well known.
Well, yes, yeah. This way is like long as you can be renounced, long as you know attached to that. Long as you can be, people can press to you, and long as you that no effect to your, practice, it's good. Like who press to the who has good qualities. If some ordinary people like get press and the how to say honors, these things like affected, they lose their own qualities because they attach to that. So long as you know attached, they all is good too.
So take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and practice good, do good practice. And then while you're here, you will have these things.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So especially you practice patient, then you and your life is much better.
Thank you, Khenpo.
You're welcome. Okay, then who's next? Sandra, go ahead.
Aren't we done?
No, done. You go ahead.
Oh, I thought that was the end. I missed that. I was walking my dog. I thought that was the end.
So this is the most important one, so you cannot miss. But I didn't see you left. I saw you are there. I mean, this afternoon.
134. 134, right? Is there more past 134?
No, it's 134.
He wanted us all to make a comment on 134.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I think it's great that one of the results of patience might be living long, because it gives you a chance to really practice the Dharma, because it takes so long to find the Dharma and get your priorities straight. So by the time, for me anyway, by the time it's come around, it would help a lot if I could live a long time and make some progress. So
Good. Okay, Mary, go ahead.
Well, who wouldn't want to win the extensive pleasure of the universal chakra kings? That's all I can say. I don't have a lot to add to this. I agree with you, Sandra, and it took me a lot longer than it took you. So living a long time may help everybody do it. So yes, patience is helpful. This life and the next.
Yes. Okay, so now who going to next? Debbie, I think Debbie B wanted to comment.
No, I was just sitting and taking what everybody else said. I thought it was very well said. So that's what I was doing. So I think it's a really beautiful verse, though, because I think that it makes us aware that when we practice in the way that we practice patience, the good qualities naturally arise, and they express these in physical qualities, but really it's our inner qualities too that we're going to carry from lifetime to lifetime, and those are just expressed in the outer level through our physical qualities. So I thought that was really beautiful, that we have this opportunity to see that fruition lifetime after lifetime. So it gives an inspiration to make every attempt to practice patience.
Good.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. What this means to me is practicing patience provides a means for me to live a richer and more pleasant life, and more importantly, through patience it allows others to help me on my path to enlightenment.
Yes. Okay, so then Curtis, where is Curtis? We cannot see you in only foreheads.
I was just looking up Chakra Kings. Hopefully, and I couldn't find anything. It didn't look very long. I think this is an interesting ending to the chapter on patience. All of a sudden, he's talking about beauty, renown, and health, and living a long time. And I don't know, he doesn't even mention enlightenment or Buddhahood. So it's kind of strange to me. I like it, but it's kind of an odd ending.
So the 133 is like permanent benefit, and 134 is like temporary benefit. Think that way, okay?
That makes more sense to me. Thank you.
Okay. Wazer, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Actually, I put away the file. Let me see if I can open it real quick. It was 134.
Yes.
It's comment.
Comments, yes. If you have, it's or you just
Almost.
Then it's good to also.
I'm almost there. I probably can't really add anything that anyone hasn't already added.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Okay, so that's good. So anyone has any comments that you can add, and if you don't have, that also okay, everyone.
No,
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. You go, Maria.
Yeah, Mary go first, yeah.
Yes, I think that practicing patience is the antidote to anger. It benefits ourselves, all beings that surround us, and all beings throughout all the universe because we are all interconnected. So it will benefit ourselves, all beings, future lives, and all existence.
Yes.
The only thing I don't know what means is the universal chakra kings. What is this?
No important.
Okay.
So the main point is the universal chakra king is like just called the it's a powerful king is like rolling whole world, who control the whole world and through the like actually good way, you know. When Buddha Shakyamuni was born, and then there's the another who's checked the the astrology person. That he told the Siddhartha's father, Buddha's father, this baby could be spiritual, is special, or could be chakra king. So he go either way. So then his father really seeking universal chakra king. So if that means like Buddha, he stay at his home and he can conquer all this whole India and the universe. That kind of powerful become king. So that's he has a merit, create accumulation merit he has. If he goes like spiritual, he can become special being Buddha, you know. Yeah.
Thank you, Khenpo.
You're welcome.
Khenpo, I think I found an answer to my question. I was looking in the Padmakara translation, and the way what we're reading sounds like is you're going to please these universal chakra kings. But the way the Padmakara translates it, it says, for patience in samsara brings us things as beauty, health, and good renown. Its fruit is great longevity, the vast contentment of a universal king. So it's promising, the verse is promising that you'll have the experience, the contentment of a universal king.
Yes.
Like a universal king.
Yes.
Well, that makes me wonder, do universal kings have this contentment? And if we don't know who the chakra king is, how do we want to know we want to win their extensive pleasures? What are these extensive pleasures other than beauty, health, and renown? I thought we're not supposed to be grasping for those type of things.
Yeah, the chakra king, this kind is like we talk about the Dharma king. They have everything, no attached desire to that. So that's a different kind. It's not important actually. This chakra king is. This just something like very high level in the person in the world. So that giving example, that person has everything. So same like that. This participation, bring you joy. Same is like that. So some part is example is correct. You don't have to follow everything same,
Khenpo, so are they noble qualities, or are they things like money and fame and fortune and, good family and all this?
Yeah, everything, just like all the whatever wishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a completely different take on it.
Okay, Debbie.
Of course I do. It's like, oh yeah, I always have an opinion. But okay, if we look at his historical context, and then we look at what it means to be a human being, we have a very good life. And so we see things like beauty, health, and renown as things that are just extra and vanity, and they are not. If you don't have health, you don't have life. You can't do anything. And certainly when Shantideva was alive, this really mattered. If you don't have health, you can't work, you can't function, you cannot better yourself. Beauty is something that we also think is an extra, but as far as we're animals, so in terms of evolution, beauty means you're healthy and desirable, and it's just easier to function. So that's what beauty is. Beauty actually is, we think people are beautiful or healthy. And certainly being a middle-aged woman, I can tell you that beauty matters, youth matters. And certainly at that time, if somebody is unhealthy, they do look less attractive. So that's that. Renown is, we again see that as very egotistical, but at that time, life was tough and renown allows you to have people to depend on if things don't go well. So renown is a lot more serious. And then certainly a good long life, like a life without health, a long life without health would be horrible. But if you put those three together with a long life, is a long, successful life. So I think that in our daily life, in samsara, because of the way we see reality, we think that pursuing a normal samsaric existence is going to give us those things, because those are the things that are going to allow you to live comfortably and well. But the truth of it is that if you want those things, they just automatically pretty much appear if you focus on your spiritual development, if you please the Buddhas, if you become a Bodhisattva, then these things, which matter and are important to you, will just happen. So I don't think it's shallow. I think it's just saying that everything you strive for in samsara, if you do the real thing, if you have a real life, if you dedicate your life to something real, then the things you think are important now will just happen, will just show up. So that's what I saw.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, so then Thomas, yes?
Well, nothing really profound, but I think this is a wonderful outline for becoming a decent human being. Because we can be pretty crappy individuals. We're so caught up in ourselves and so arrogant and so prideful and self-righteous, and practicing patience just really gives us a wonderful outline of how fortunate we are and how grateful we should be. And this anger that comes about, it's so destructive. It should humble us. That's all I have to say, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Anger really is destructive to one's health. I mean, it causes a lot of stress. You are likely to get diseases. That's a reality.
Amanda, you have comments?
I do.
Yeah.
This verse makes me think of maybe the medical aspect of Dharma and energy flowing properly, which I don't really understand altogether. But so I had a teacher tell me that disease is dis-ease in the body. And so when we do things like we don't have joy and we're angry and we don't practice patience, that blocks energy channels. The energy doesn't flow it doesn't flow properly in our body. And so it causes health problems. And so it reminds me of that. And it makes me think that when we practice patience and joy and all these beautiful things that the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas do, then all these other qualities just naturally arise. And there's this deep sense of ease in our body, in our being. And I think other people can feel that, and it brings others happiness as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to do the dedication. Senda, please, dedication.
Okay. Emaho. In the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Dewachen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teata pensa driya awapotanaya soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Drikumpa Ratnashri, who is omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Thank you, Senda.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.